Hey guys, this is Jenna with my chapter 10 review video. And to start, I would like to discuss the first thing that was discussed in the chapter, which is about major coastal zones. And in this section, we learn a lot about coastal zones and what they include, like the open coast, as well as like the semi-isolated and sheltered bays. We also learn a lot about how coastal areas are regions of change in which the sea acts to alter the shape and configuration of the land. What I found interesting was actually in section 10.2 was all the different types of coasts and how they are different. Like they have different ways to like classify all of them. Like in my opinion, I really didn't think there was that many coasts and different types of them. So yeah, I found that really interesting. Um, in chapter 10, we learn a lot about the different types of coasts, but we also learn a lot about the beaches and the anatomy and dynamics of them. In section 10.3, it goes into detail about the profile of the beach, and we learn about berms and how they appear on beaches in the backshore area. In this section, it states how during a severe storm, a winter or storm berm is formed when the waves reach high up the beach and pile up along the backshore. We also learn about the summer berm, and that is formed when gentle waves of spring and summer when the waves do not reach as far. What I found interesting, another thing that I found interesting in chapter 10 was learning about all the different beach types. Before reading the chapter, I was really ignorant to the fact that there was so many different types of beaches, but after reading section 10.5, I now have a better and further understanding on the dynamics and the different types of beaches. What I didn't know was that beaches are actually disappearing because of the rising sea level and coastal erosion that is happening. What else I found interesting was learning about the Santa Barbara story and how beaches in the southeast began to disappear because they were starved of sand. Another thing that I learned about was flushing time, which was in section 10.9, and how estuaries that flush rapidly have a higher capacity of dissipating weights than those that flush slowly. And just one more thing that I found really interesting was reading about how, because like we are building like around beaches, that also like affects them. So I found that really interesting too. And my three questions for this chapter is there a more or even a better way to help save our beaches when we are building on them? Since like in the chapter it like said that we were like hurting them because everyone wants like their house by the beach. So I was just curious. And does pollution or like oil spills that happen in water affect how coastal structures are built? And my last question for chapter 10 is I would like to just know more about how the water affects the shore and formation of the beaches. Like, for example, like when the water is higher or lower, does that have any effect on how it is eventually formed? So that is my review video for chapter 10.